Well, just like I predicted in my video yesterday, Louisville is about to burn. Only one of the officers was indicted in the Breonna Taylor case for wanton endangerment, Officer Brett Hankison. And regardless of the facts of the case and justice, the protesters are not happy. And in this video, we're going to talk about the facts of this case. And we're also going to see as a pastor in Louisville basically tells us about what's about to happen. Welcome to Right is Right, everybody, and of course, if you could hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, because I put out new videos every single day showing the craziness of the left. I think everyone can agree with me when I say the killing of Breonna Taylor was a tragedy and something that is very, very sad. She was in her house with her boyfriend at almost 1 o'clock at night when the police served a no-knock warrant, and she was caught in the crossfire between her boyfriend and the police. Now, there are many misconceptions of this case that I would like to cover today, and I'm going to let you all see the perspective of both parties, because there are many people that are really upset about this, and there are also people, of course, supporting the police's side of this situation. And without a doubt, this was a difficult situation for both parties involved. And these misconceptions that have been pushed by these liberal political activists have fueled the fire for all of this. Okay, so let's go to the first misconception, and that is that the police went to the wrong house. That is not true. They did, in fact, go to the right house. They had an investigation open for Breonna Taylor, and they did, in fact, go to the right house. The next misconception is that they entered the house without announcing themselves. Even though they had a no-knock warrant, which allows them to do that, they still announced themselves before they entered her apartment. The next misconception is that she was asleep in her bed when the police barged in and just shot her while she slept. And that, again, is not true. She was actually shot while standing in the hallway because her boyfriend fired at the police first, striking one of the police officers in the leg. And of course, the police returned fire after being shot at. And very sadly, Breonna Taylor was in the middle of the crossfire. Something that we all, of course, wish never happened. If the police did in fact announce themselves before they went into the apartment, then her boyfriend, really in my opinion, is to blame for all of this, because he should never have shot at them, because if they did announce themselves, Breonna and her boyfriend should have known. However, if they did not announce themselves like some of their neighbors have claimed, then I do understand why her boyfriend shot at them, because maybe he didn't know. It could have been someone breaking in their apartment. Personally, I believe the police, but that's one of the things that's debatable in this case, is if they did or did not announce themselves prior to entering her apartment. Now, let's talk from the standpoint of the police officers. First of all, these police officers were not involved in the investigation leading up to the warrant. They were commanded by the higher-ups to go in and execute the search warrant. They had no idea who was in this house, how many people were in this house. All they knew is that they were executing a search warrant for a supposed drug dealer. And before they even entered the apartment, Kenneth Walker, Breonna's boyfriend, fired upon them, hitting one of their officers in the leg from the shot fired through the door. They then used a battering ram to open the door of the apartment, and they shot into the apartment before entering to try to clear it out from the gunman who had just shot one of them. And of course, sadly, Breonna Taylor was standing in the hallway and she was struck 5 times. Now the question is, did the police officers act responsibly? If you put yourselves in the police officer's position, I think they were justified to shoot back. It is horrible that she got caught in the crossfire, but it never would have happened if her boyfriend didn't shoot one of them in the leg. Now, regardless of what you think of what happened in the case, Louisville will burn. Today, tomorrow, who knows how long. Because the protesters are not happy. In fact, they're already heading downtown to cause chaos. And seriously, what should they have done? They were fired upon. One of them was struck. Were they supposed to run out of there and hide? Or were they supposed to fight back? I think most of you all know the answer to that. I think it's really easy for a lot of these people to scrutinize the police officers, but put in the same position, they would have done the same thing. Those police officers did not know in that moment if they were going to be killed. They didn't have time to leave the apartment. For all they knew, there were 2 or 3 guys back there with guns ready to kill them. And this is the problem. No one wants to look at it from the police officer's standpoint. Now let's take a look at this clip from the supposed pastor, who is a Black Lives Matter activist also, and the warning that he gives.
The people who've been, those of us who've been protesting and been fighting for justice in the city for a while are going to continue. We're going to the next phase of what we're attempting to do, and this city is going to understand that it can't continue to treat its citizens the way it does, and especially black people the way they do, and continue to have a justice system that just does not favor justice when it comes to black people. So you'll be hearing more in the future about what we'll be doing, but it's not over. We meant it when we said no justice, no peace. And so we'll be finding all kinds of ways to make sure that this city changes. Our city needs a change. It really needs a change. Louisville needs to change. This is old. I think some people in power think that this is just going to be one of those things that if we just endure it, it will pass away. That is not the case. This is not going to just pass over. It's not going to blow over. We're not going back to business as usual. We are not going back at all. There's no way to go back. And so they might as well get ready for pressure. They might as well get ready for holding people accountable, from the mayor to the city council to any elected official that's been complicit. Please understand that we are tired of being treated the same way and expected us to just roll over and play dead. That's not going to happen. It's a new day, and you'll hear from us.
Can you describe the mood here? I mean, it was quiet for a minute, I think, as people were letting it sink in, but now we're starting to hear some real hurt.
Well, one of the things you know when it comes to grief cycles is the first thing is you're numb. You can't believe it. And you know, the masses of people we knew just from the history of this city and the history of this country that we didn't really expect. We hoped against hope, but we didn't really expect it to be any different. But you kind of hope that maybe somebody will wake up. And what has happened is they're numb because of the audacity of this decision, the audacity of the racism, the audacity of the evil. It's just, even though you know you've experienced it before, the audaciousness of it just makes you numb. And then after you get past or process that numbness, you're angry about the injustice. And if you're not angry about this injustice, then there's something seriously wrong. And we're going to take this anger, this power, this passion, and we're going to focus it on change that absolutely needs to happen in Louisville, Kentucky. We are committed to change.
All right, Pastor Bruce Williams, thank you so much. Thanks for taking a second. Doug, we're going to send it back to you as people start to hit the streets.
So he said, we meant it when we said no justice, no peace. They don't feel that with justice was served, so there will be no peace. So I think this evening we're going to see a lot of crazy things happen, unfortunately, in Louisville, Kentucky. And of course, I will keep you all updated on everything that happens in Louisville and all the chaos and craziness that's about to befall this beautiful city. So remember to check back here regularly to see what happens to Louisville, Kentucky. Also, everyone, please leave a comment in the comment section below to let me know what you all think about the indictment of only one police officer, Brett Hankison. What do you think? Was the police shooting justified? Was the indictment what you thought it should be? Or do you think that there was an injustice with the indictment of only one officer? And please do subscribe, because I make videos like this almost every day, focusing in on the stories that the liberal lying media wants to spin or bury. And also, if you could, share the video with your friends. Hit that like button so it'll help me get more exposure. And everyone, I will see you all in the next video. So please take care and stay safe.